You were never meant to struggle for what is already yours. Struggle is the voice of misunderstanding. It is the shadow cast by the false belief that the outer world holds power over you. But the truth is simple. Your imagination is God. Your inner consciousness is the only reality. And everything you see is a reflection of what you assume within. God did not design desire to be a battle. Desire is a promise already fulfilled in the unseen. The struggle you feel arises when you try to force the visible world to obey before your inner state is aligned. You were created to assume, not to strive. To dwell in the end, not to chase the means. To rest in the feeling of fulfillment, not in the anxiety of lack. When you strive, you affirm struggle. When you wrestle with circumstances, you give them power. But when you imagine and live from the fulfilled desire, the outer world must conform. The law never fails. It is your belief that changes. No man was ever meant to win by fighting. The battle is within. When you find peace in the assumption the world yields without resistance, this is not passivity, but power, a knowing that all is already yours. You are not called to toil endlessly. You are called to remember who you are. The desire you have is the evidence of your divine nature. Allow yourself to be that which you imagine. Release the need to prove or earn it. You have it now in consciousness. Struggle is a sign that your attention is on lack. Shift your attention to the wish fulfilled. Live as if your desire is already true. This is the bridge from wanting to having. This is the secret no man need ever forget. You were never meant to struggle. You were meant to assume, to be still and know that it is done, and the world must obey. The feeling of struggle comes from identifying with what you see, rather than who you are. You look to the outside world and think it controls your fate. But the world is merely the stage upon which your inner conversations play out. When you believe you are limited by circumstances, you give power to limitation. This is the source of struggle. Your true self is the awareness behind your imagination. It is not the body, nor the senses, nor the outer events. It is the consciousness that assumes and creates. When you realize this, struggle loses its meaning. You begin to see that effort belongs to the realm of appearances, not reality. You do not create by force. You create by assumption. By entering into the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you change your inner state. That inner state draws to you the outer experiences that correspond. There is no need to push against anything. The key is to stop identifying with what is seen, to stop taking the world as your reality. Instead, choose to live from the unseen cause. Your inner state is the only truth. The outer world must follow your assumption. This shift is not always easy. Old habits of thought may resist, but persistence in the feeling of the fulfilled desire breaks their hold. This is faith in action, not blind hope, but conscious knowing. You were never meant to struggle because you are more than appearances. Your power lies in your ability to imagine and feel. When you accept this, struggle dissolves naturally. You rest in the assurance of your fulfilled wish, and the world aligns itself accordingly. Your desire is fulfilled first within your imagination and feeling. It is the inner assumption that brings your wish into being. No outer effort or struggle is needed to create your desire. When you live in the feeling of the wish fulfilled, the world must obey. Any action that appears will flow naturally and effortlessly from this inner state. It is not forced, but inspired. Many believe they must strive and work hard to get what they want. This belief causes resistance and delays manifestation. You were never meant to struggle or chase your desires. You were meant to assume the fulfilled state now. This assumption changes your inner world and therefore the outer world. The world reflects your inner conversations and beliefs. If you accept struggle as real, struggle will persist. If you accept peace and fulfillment as true, your world will mirror that. Your feeling is the cause. The outer is the effect. Change the cause, and the effect must change. There is no need to force results or control circumstances. Simply rest in the certainty that your desire is fulfilled. This rest is the natural state of creation. It allows all things to unfold in perfect time. Struggle is replaced by quiet knowing. When doubt or impatience arise, recognize them as passing clouds. Return gently to your assumed state of fulfillment. Faith in this inner reality dissolves resistance. It draws your desire into visible form without effort. This is the power you were born to wield. You were never meant to fight for your desires. You were meant to assume, to feel, and to receive. This is the simple, profound law of creation. Embrace it, and your life will transform effortlessly. To live without struggle, you must live from the end. The end is the fulfilled desire, already realized in your imagination. When you dwell in this end state, your inner world is at peace. This peace is the opposite of struggle. It is a quiet confidence that what you want is already yours. Many live as if the desire is far away, waiting to be earned or proven. This creates distance and discord within. But when you live as if the desire is present and real, that discord dissolves. You become the person who has already received. This change in identity ends the battle between want and have. Living from the end does not mean ignoring current circumstances. It means recognizing that circumstances do not define your reality. They are but shadows on the wall, reflections of your inner state. When your inner state changes, your outer world must follow. This is the natural law at work. When you assume the end, you align your thoughts, feelings, and actions. Everything you do flows from your fulfilled state. There is no resistance, no pushing, only effortless movement. Your reality bends in response to your consistent assumption. This is the end of struggle and the beginning of creation. The habit of struggle is difficult to break. It is deeply ingrained in the thinking of the world. But with patience and practice, you can replace it with trust. Trust in your inner assumption and its creative power. This trust brings freedom from effort and lack. You do not need to wait for proof or confirmation. The feeling of the fulfilled desire is your evidence. Rest in this feeling. Let it become your new reality. This is how the impossible becomes inevitable. Struggle fades when you live as if your desire is done. You are not pushing the world to change. You are changing yourself, and the world follows. This is the secret to effortless manifestation. Live from the end, and all struggle ceases. Your mind is the workshop where all realities are shaped. It is not a tool for endless effort or worry. When properly directed, it becomes the doorway to ease and fulfillment. Struggle arises when the mind clings to the appearance of lack. But the mind's true function is to hold the vision of the wish fulfilled. You were never meant to be a slave to your thoughts. You are the master of your inner conversations. What you say to yourself in the silence shapes your world. Speak as if your desire is already accomplished. This is the creative power you possess. Struggle disappears as you change your inner narrative. Replace doubt and fear with faith and certainty. This is not mere wishful thinking, but a profound shift in consciousness. The mind accepts what it habitually entertains. Feed it with the reality you desire, not the illusion you wish to escape. Imagine the person who already lives your fulfilled desire. Speak in your mind as that person would speak. Think their thoughts and feel their feelings. This practice rewires your mind and ends the inner battle. It brings peace where there was once struggle. You do not have to force this change. Gentle persistence is enough. Each time you return to the fulfilled feeling, you strengthen your new reality. The old struggle loses its grip. Your mind becomes a sanctuary of calm and power. Trust that your inner conversations are shaping your experience. This trust replaces the tension of effort with the ease of knowing. You become a deliberate creator, not a victim of circumstance. This is the true freedom you were meant to enjoy. Struggle dissolves when your mind holds the vision firmly. You were never meant to wrestle with life. You were meant to imagine and feel your way into your desires. This is the path from resistance to flow. Walk it with confidence and grace. The life you seek is already yours within. Faith is not a distant hope, but a present conviction. It is the acceptance of your desire as already fulfilled. This faith silences the noise of struggle and doubt. It is the foundation upon which manifestation rests. Without this faith, the mind returns to old patterns of lack. You were never meant to wander in uncertainty. Faith is the light that guides you through the unseen. It is the steady assurance that your inner state shapes your outer reality. When faith is present, struggle loses its hold. You move effortlessly toward your fulfilled desire. To cultivate this faith, return often to the feeling of the wish fulfilled. Imagine the reality you desire with vividness and emotion. Let this feeling become your dominant state. Do not be swayed by contrary appearances. They are but shadows that pass away. Faith is not passive waiting, but active assuming. It is the inner knowing that your desire is done. This knowing changes your entire being. It aligns your thoughts, feelings, and actions. It prepares you to receive without struggle. The world cannot contradict your faith. It yields to the consciousness that persistently assumes. When you hold faith firmly, reality must conform. This is the law that governs creation. Faith ends struggle and births fulfillment. Let go of all resistance and doubt. Choose faith as your unshakable foundation. Live each day from this place of certainty. The struggle you once knew will fade away. You will walk with ease into your desires. You were never meant to fight against life. You were meant to rest in the faith of your fulfilled wish. This faith is your true power. Embrace it fully and watch your world change. Struggle has no place where faith reigns. Peace is the natural state when you live from your fulfilled desire. It is the quiet assurance that all is well, even before evidence appears. Struggle and anxiety come from living out of alignment with this peace. When you rest in peace, your creation flows without resistance. This peace is not dependent on conditions or outcomes. Many seek peace in the world, but it is found only within. Your inner state creates your outer experience. When you choose peace as your feeling, you choose the reality you desire. Peace is the foundation upon which all manifestation stands. Without peace, the mind creates struggle. Living in peace means trusting the unseen and unknown. It means surrendering the need to control. This surrender is not defeat, but acceptance of divine timing. In this acceptance, you find freedom from struggle. You allow life to unfold effortlessly. Peace transforms your entire being. It strengthens your faith and deepens your assumption. It opens you to receive without resistance or doubt. This is the gateway to the reality you desire. Step into peace, and struggle loses its power. Even when appearances seem contrary, peace remains. It is the anchor that holds your consciousness steady. This steadiness shapes the world around you. It is the quiet force behind all creation. Peace is the end of all striving. You were never meant to live in conflict with your desires. You are meant to live in harmony with your fulfilled wish. Peace is the sign that you have assumed the end. Let it be your guide and your state of being. Struggle fades where peace reigns. The moment you assume the feeling of the fulfilled desire, receiving begins. Receiving is not a distant event, but a present experience. You receive as soon as you embody the state of having. Struggle fades when you trust this truth. You are already one with your desire in consciousness. To receive, let go of resistance and expectation. Allow your life to flow naturally in response to your assumption. Do not grasp or push. Instead, rest in the assurance that it is done. This rest is the gateway to manifestation. Many wait for signs or evidence before believing. This waiting creates tension and struggle. True receiving bypasses waiting. It is a knowing that transcends appearances. It is faith made visible within. Your outer world must conform to your inner reality. The timing and means are beyond your control. Your only task is to remain faithful to your assumption. This faith attracts all that is needed to fulfill your desire. Effortless receiving is your birthright. You were never meant to struggle to receive what is yours. You are meant to live in the knowing of your fulfillment. This knowing brings peace, joy, and freedom. Embrace it fully and watch your world transform. Manifestation is the natural unfolding of your inner assumption into reality. The key is to live fully from the end and allow everything else to follow. Your desires come to you effortlessly, without struggle or resistance. Trust this process completely and rest deeply in your fulfilled state. You were never meant to struggle to receive what is already yours. Believe this truth wholeheartedly and step confidently into the life that awaits you.